Longest elevator ever. For the sake of all this, we should probably be at full, or close to full, energy. It's a heavy rifle. I don't think that'll be all that useful down here. Could be. Plasma rifle. I think we'll be good with a grenade launcher. Hopefully.
What the hell? Oh my God.
Water pressure nominal at 173 psi.
Who am I?
Communications web online.
I feel cold.
Drones 1 through 3 within operational parameters.
I don't remember.
Drone 4 disconnected.
Let me go.
Processing.
Oh God, please help me. I'm scared.
Core temperature stable. Processing.
Zhao, what are you doing?
Connecting to Panchaea's Hyron project, Mr. Jensen. The most advanced quantum computer slave to the human brain, and the closest to perfection we'll ever achieve. I'm going to use it to hack Darrow's signal and rework the message to our benefit.
Our benefit? You mean the Illuminati's?
Someone has to override the signal and be the world's savior. And let's be honest, neither of us would trust anyone else to fill that role. Computer, begin EEG sync.
So much pain.
Syncing beta waves at 40 cycles per second.
Sleep, please. Let me sleep.
Incompatible master slave chain detected. Alert. Unable to transfer control to Alpha Pod.
The system won't recognize my chip.
Neural systems offline. Rerouting control of the chain.
I can't control Hyron.
Increasing glitchinators by 32%.
Zhao, get them out of there. I have to reach the control chamber.
No! I can still control it! I'm in control!
Stop the signal.
Security alert.
Through the primary control panel.
Oh, shit.
Now, the hubris of men will never fail to stir up a shitstorm. So let's see, we need to do some things and stuff. Ouch, turrets. Shit.
I must be the one to alter the signal!
Ouch, 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 I died. Already. So, let's consider this then. Take a quick gander. Defeat the Hyron project. Well, that's not a whole lot of help.
Security in place. To access Alpha Pod.
I think that's one of the things we need to do there. You'll say nothing.
I must be the one to alter the signal! Once I do, the Council will welcome me with open arms!
Yeah, might as well not waste time here.
No! Protect Mother! Stay away! Stay away!
Ah, doors. Cameras. I wish I could turn off the turrets. We could destroy them. Now, why are the turrets shown as
You have to have
green?
better served keeping
And they're
your
clearly
head
not
down,
green.
Jensen.
What next? What next?
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't hurt anyone.
Ah, I'm dying again. God damn it. Fucking turrets.
You have to have been better served keeping your head down, Jensen.
Well, that took care of that.
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't
Might as well take them all out. They're just really getting in the way.
Please, keep him away from us. Security measures are sufficient. Insufficient.
Once the weight of their gaze touches you, no
There we go.
escape.
Gives us quite a bit more freedom now. And what's all this then?
Static pressure rising. Can't breathe. It hurts. It hurts so much.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
My heart
down one of them then.
Total system purge in effect. Shutting down
Shit.
tertiary stations.
You know what? These are bell tower guards, so I have no
Subcritical and rising. Electric discharge
no inclination to
sequence
keep them
initialized.
alive.
Get that code from that fool Daryl. This will not stop me, Jensen.
Oh, I do think it will.
It's happening. Hyron is gone.
Damn it.
Wait. It's initiating emergency protocols.
I don't know how many get. Oh, she's electrifying the floor and fucking hell.
Despite my special genetics, you have been in over your head the whole time.
Ouch! Got me good. Got me good. Damn it.
You have to have
Goodness sake, I'm all the way back here.
keeping your head down,
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't hurt anymore. Just no more pain. Please keep him away from us. Security measures are sufficient.
So what do I do? Turn off the life support first. Oh. Oh, hot damn.
The weight of the gaze touches you.
Shit.
There is no escape.
If that's off,
Manual override of tertiary pods initiated.
what's next?
Total system purge in effect.
Oh, well, I got them all.
Shutting down tertiary stations.
Now I think I have to kill...
Electrical charge subcritical and rising.
Oh, good God, what do I do?
You have to have been better served keeping your head down, Jensen.
Goodness sake.
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't hurt anymore. Just no more pain. Please keep him away from us.
Now what do I do when the fucking floors start electrocuting?
Of tertiary pods initiated. Total system purge in effect. Shutting down tertiary stations. Warning. Electrical charge subcritical and rising. Electric discharge sequence initialized.
Where did you get that code? From that fool Daryl. This will not stop me, Jensen. It's happening.
Oh goodness. For God's sake! Fuck this. I can't concentrate on so many hostile things at once.
Keeping your head down, Jensen.
First thing I gotta do,
Just don't hurt anymore.
turn off life support.
No more pain. Please.
And then what?
Override of tertiary pods
Can I blast the
initiated.
bejesus out of her yet?
Total system purge in effect.
I think I can.
Shutting down tertiary stations. Warning.
No, I can't hurt her anymore.
Subcritical and rising.
For God's sake! That kills me instantly. I can't live long enough to figure out what I actually need to do.
Keeping your head down, Jensen.
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't hurt anymore. Just no more pain. Please keep him away from us. Security measures are sufficient.
Manual override of tertiary pods initiated. Total system purge in effect. Shutting down tertiary stations.
God's sake, just die!
Electrical charge subcritical and rising. Electric discharge sequence initialized.
Where did you get
So am I
that
safe in here?
code? From that fool Daryl. This will not stop me, Jensen. It's happening. Hyron is gone from us. No.
So what do I do now? So all I need to do is kill her, but the problem is I'm getting fucking blasted by electricity every 10 frickin' seconds. Guess I'm safe here.
You don't know the resources they have at their disposal, Jensen. Despite your special genetics, you have been in over your head the whole time. Initiate dissipation protocol.
Warning. Electrical charge subcritical and rising. Pathway to discharge sequence.
Damn you, Daryl. He betrayed
So why doesn't it hurt this thing?
Primary pod
God's sake, get off the frickin' thing!
security measures activated.
God fucking damn it!
You still cannot reach me, Jensen. There are too many contingencies built into the system.
What the hell do I do to her?
You and I have both failed.
Now why doesn't the fucking electricity hurt the robots? Can't actually seem to damage her.
Warning. Primary point station damaged.
No! I will not lose this. It's not right. I have worked too long. Stop now.
Is it working? Is she dying?
Lord, it's happening. No!
At least I'm safe on this thing.
It is all mine. I have given everything for this.
Oh, well, there we go. There's just no evidence I was actually doing anything to her.
I can't take.
Toasty. Whoops. Well, it seems to be the heart of the operation here, then.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the Edge. It is not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
Eliza? What are you doing here?
It is my job to monitor and report on the news, Adam. Before Darrow smothered everything with his signal, the whole world was tuned into this place, including me.
The broadcast. I have to stop it.
I know. Please, come closer. Do you know where we are, Adam? We are at the fulcrum point, when society lies in the balance. Hugh Darrow hoped to tip the scales one way, by telling the world everything you already know. About the biochip, the Illuminati, everything. He believed knowing the truth would convince mankind to abandon research into human enhancement technologies forever.
It would certainly give them reason to fear it.
Indeed. Darrow's confession is ready to send. If you want, I can wideband it across all media as soon as you shut down the signal. Everything you worked so hard to uncover will be exposed. But only if you deactivate the broadcast using this control. However, if you desire, I can alter Darrow's message. Conceal the creation of the biochip while putting in new content.
Content blaming the humanity front. Like Sarah suggested.
The organization has already admitted to harboring terrorists. It would be easy to convince people they turn to biological warfare in a more desperate attempt to get rid of augmented people.
But why? What would that achieve?
In time, it could shift the focus of hatred onto people whose prejudices are seen as too extreme, leaving corporations free to experiment with human evolution as they desire. But if you want me to perform this edit for you, you must disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Alternatively, Darrow's message can be adjusted to erase all mention of the power group known as the Illuminati. I can report that lack of proper regulation allowed vast quantities of neuropozyne to become contaminated prior to reaching the market.
Taggart's preference. You think the world will buy a made-up story about neuropozyne poisoning?
You might be surprised by what people believe. I can convince them. And having experienced the negative effects of corporate negligence firsthand, a majority of people might force the world to place harsh restrictions on all human enhancement research. But only if you disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Of course, There is another option. This passage leads to Panchaea's pressure regulation controls. Destroy them and the installation will cave in on itself, overwhelmed by the weight of the ocean pressing against it. Everyone inside the structure will die.
That's a solution?
No one will be left to tell the world what happened, Adam. Nobody will be able to spin the story.
Including me.
The choice is yours. Do you believe you have the wisdom to choose an appropriate future for mankind? Or do you trust mankind to find the answers on its own?
So it's a very important choice here. And in fact, I will demonstrate... Well, yeah, why not? I'll show all three endings. But really, what we have the choice is, we can fudge the details a little and kind of shift the blame onto corporations so that people desire much more rigid restrictions on how augmentation technology is distributed and implemented. We can take Sarah's approach, which is to blame the humanity front, the people whose prejudices have been interfering with the free reign of augmentation technology and what he views as the restrictions on humanity's evolution. So he believes that though it may be corrupted, augmentation is simply too powerful of a resource, too beneficial to humanity to be restricted in any way. So by doing this, we instead give corporations free reign to research and distribute, while essentially putting blame on people who have high prejudices against it, so that they can no longer interfere and perform these sort of terrorist tactics to try and impede the research the way that they have been. We can instead just lay all the cards on the table. That's doing Hugh Darrow's message, which is he's willfully taking the blame for everything that happened here, and his confession as well as his justification become plain and leave people, well, in his eyes, it would leave people to decide whether or not, it would lead people to believe that augmentation technology is wholly evil and should never be used, and that all research into it should end. Or we could simply walk out of here, wreck the place, everyone in here dies, no one knows what the hell happened, but everyone goes back to normal, and people are left for generations to come to wonder what the hell went down here. Personally, I don't think that's really an option. Because what would happen then is just no one really understands what happened here. All they know is, thousands of people died here. And the whole world went to shit in a hurry, and everyone gets back up, and they're all left reeling and confused, and altogether, there's no lessons to be learned that way. And I think, now that this catastrophe has happened, I think it's important that at least people sort of learn their own lessons from it, and make decisions for themselves. But if we go that way, we leave them wholly ignorant, and absolutely no good can come from this whatsoever. Not that I'm condoning anything that happened here, but it's just that now that it has happened, they might as well be able to make a judgment based on it. As for Seraphs, that is not a good idea. That's just complete corporate free reign. Well, maybe not complete. They still have to abide by certain regulations that are just in the, in governmental interests. So, it's not like it's not like they have free reign just to do whatever they want and ethics be damned. They still have to abide by ethical codes that all corporations and scientific research has to abide by. But apart from that, they can do their research without any restrictions because people don't know the deadly potential of augmentation. And that leads me to Taggart's, where I just sort of feel Taggart, his methods I cannot condone with, but his message I do believe in. And this is just sort of, this is probably the most ethical dilemma I have with this game, is just, can I condone a man who has, who has admitted to harboring terrorists and condoning terrorist activities to get what he wants, even if I sort of agree with his message. Now, since I don't know, it's just kind of hard to go on board here, but you know, if we do this, then that kind of, it does sort of cover up all his crimes. But on the other side of the token, it does not. It pretty much gives him no reason to commit any more atrocities. So we could do that and just sort of deal with. I mean, theoretically, we could do that and sort of deal with Taggart on our own. And but at the same time, that's still just not revealing the truth to anybody. And so my personal belief is that we should instead just lay all the cards on the table and let people judge everything for themselves. Now, of course, Adam Jensen will have a sort of epilogue where he talks about, like a monologue, I guess, where he talks about the message behind all of these, and how he explains it might differ from the way I view it. So we're just going to see how that happens. I don't think I'll go through all the endings, because all the other endings are available on YouTube, so you can kind of watch them for yourselves. So this is just how I choose to play the game, and that's kind of why you're watching, or at least half the reason why you're watching. So here we go.
If you do this, the unadulterated truth in Darrow's confession may well convince mankind to cast all science and technology aside, to ensure that future generations grow up free and whole. Are you sure this is your choice? So be it then.
Albert Einstein said, technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Took me a while, but I finally see his point. How often have we chased the dream of progress only to see it perverted? More often than not, haven't the machines we built to improve life shattered the lives of millions? And now we want to turn that dream on ourselves to fundamentally improve who we are. Experience has shown me how dangerous that can be. How many times in the Call of Duty did I almost fall into the trap of taking shortcuts, abusing my abilities or the resources at hand? I resisted. Barely at times, because I valued human lives and considerations. Can I truly despise others who fall? Technology offers us strength. Strength enables dominance, and dominance paves the way for abuse. Darrow understood this. He knew that using technology to become something more than we are risks losing our ability to love, aspire, or make moral choices. The very things that make us human. It also risks giving some men the power to make others what they choose, regardless of the cost to human dignity. The suffering Darrow inflicted is not the end of the world. It is merely the seed for change. And change never comes without pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll about do it. Welcome to the credits. So, that is the Darrow ending of the game, and as I said, you can watch the other ones on YouTube if you haven't seen them before, but most people watching this have probably played it and have seen what they wanted to see, but if you still have not completed all the endings, it's actually very easy to do them all without having to play the game over again, since just like, I'm going to get the cursor out of here, it's kind of annoying, since just like the first Deus Ex, the game actually allows you to make the choices independently of how you've played the rest of the game. So all the choices are made at the very end, although in the first Deus Ex you really had to work towards each ending, but as long as you did all the requirements and halted just before doing the last stroke of the mission, then you could just do each of them in turn, which that's how I did my walkthrough for that game. So now the moral choices at the ending of this game are actually, in truth, very, very tough to consider. Like, I ended up doing Darrow's option, but I did not really agree with Darrow's vision or his methods. I do not condone what Darrow did at all, and it's not that I think all of technology is simply a perversion of, like, it's perverted by human, like, what am I trying to say? It does not ruin the concept of human ethics, in my opinion. It can do a lot of good, and that's not the message that the ending really came with. It's simply that my sort of belief as far as human rights go is that people should be entitled to know what exactly went down, and this is the only ending that allowed you to reveal the whole truth to the public so that they could make their own decisions based on it, instead of the other two, which involved lying to them, and the final option, which involved just taking all of the secrets to your grave. So it's not that I liked Darrow's message, and in truth, if I could, I would simply reveal all the details of what went down there, but I would not attach Darrow's confession to it. I would let people see what happened and understand Darrow's justification for it. I mean, I guess the confession is there, but it's like the way that you get the ending just implies that you agree with Darrow, and that's not what it is. I simply believe that people should be able to decide on their own, and neither Taggart nor Seraph wanted that to happen. So, in truth, I personally would side with Taggart. Restrictions and regulation of augmentation technology is important. It just prevents unscrupulous corporations from being able to just pervert the technology to their own desires. It would prevent, say, the Illuminati from being able to wholly control the human race, and it would just prevent a overall lack of ethical guidelines that give these companies free rein to just, ruin everything and just work for their own gain, whether it just be monetary gain or control, domination, or, just aspiring to the limits of, sort of like the sky's the limit, just going as far as they possibly can with their research and just, leaving a trail of blood in their wake simply because they feel it's justified. So, yeah, I feel that cannot be permitted, and so I support regulation of the technology, but I don't, it sort of deserves to exist. I mean, I can go even deeper ethically to explain why I don't think augmentation should exist, but I'm not really going to tread in that territory. That's a bit too contentious for me. So, what I'm saying is that there's not a wholly evil presence behind the augmentation technology. It can be used for good things to really benefit humanity without hurting anybody. It's simply that I don't believe that corporations have the sensibilities to do that without harming people in the process, because in the end, a corporation is in the business to make money. And despite the sometimes philosophical missions of the CEOs and executives who are behind these researches, the bottom line is they can't do it without money, and they will do really wicked things sometimes to get that money, even if they believe that the ends justify the means. And it goes beyond that. That's just sort of like one side of the matter. The other side, there's another side, of course, in the Illuminati, who have no ethical sensibilities and no, beneficial viewpoints. I guess to an extent they do. It's not as talked about as much in this game, where it sort of paints the Illuminati and their corporations as wholly wholly, like, dictatorship minded. Like, they just want complete control over humanity for their own gains. But the first Deus Ex instead gives us a view of the Illuminati as sort of believing that only through like sort of invisible hand that they refer to themselves as, the belief that I heard a quote somewhere, I think it was from like an anime or something, was something along the lines of like an intelligent dictator is better for humanity than an ignorant democracy. Something like that. So just a belief that, you know, one party who understands everything and can control, you know, pull the strings to set humanity again towards what they think is the best path for progress and just, you know, human, like just what they need, like their needs and their desires. Just sort of the belief that they, like, just one party who understands everything is better than, you know, giving complete control to the people who have no education, no understanding of the truth behind these matters. And it's tough for them to make that decision without letting their ideologies and their just like their emotion and passion override intelligent thought and education, and just, you know, it sort of stands in the way. It encourages ignorance just due to passion. I don't really know how to phrase my thoughts on that matter very eloquently in a way that people can understand, but that's just how I view it. And so, like, the Illuminati in this game are painted as wholly evil, or mostly evil at least, and the first Deus Ex, you may not agree with them, but at least their message seems to be, and it could be that they're lying in that case, just sort of trying to persuade you with, you know, sweet words to encourage you to believe that they're just trying to help everybody, in spite of the fact that they're, you know, casting these invisible shackles on human progress just to ensure that it goes the way they want it to go. So, you know, you're always left to your own decisions and your own viewpoints on these stories in the Deus Ex games, which is what I love about them. So, but, you know, just the restrictions on writing something like this just means that everyone's viewpoint cannot be demonstrated. It cannot be presented in this game. So you may not agree with any of the options you have available to you. It's just sort of like you choose the smallest of all evils in the end. And in the end, you know, a lot of situations in life are like that. Politics is like that. So that's just kind of what you get. You cannot get the perfect ending if you do not wholly agree with one of the four options. So I just kind of went with what I think people deserved, at least, even though I didn't necessarily believe that that was the proper way to reach where humanity really deserved to be. And that's just my whole thoughts on the matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really have much more to say about this. I might, in the end, once I'm done editing all this, I might have something else to say, in which case I'll kind of chuck it in here. Because that happened with the first Deus Ex. I had some thoughts that I forgot to address, so I had to kind of shove them in again at the end of the credits. But apart from that, any of you who have been watching, I thank you very dearly, because this has been fun for me in spite of the fact that some of what I went through, we're going to get a cutscene here.
You worry too much, Morgan. There's nothing we can't manage given time. She's here. I have to cut this short. Keep going through the wreckage. Maybe we'll find something we can use for the Morpheus initiative. Come in. Dr. Reed. We're so pleased you decided to join us.
Where else could I go?
No regrets, my dear. As Ariadne told Theseus before he entered the Minotaur's labyrinth, always forward, never left or right. You'll be very interested in our current project. We're breaking new ground.
Yes, the nanite virus chimera is quite intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing the hybrid project up close, Mr. Page.
And so you shall. But please, call me Bob.
Bob Page, you dirt dog. So, things are starting to come full circle here. We have yet to really hear anything as far as what the next Deus Ex game is going to be. Surely it's going to be a sequel to this one. And we have, once again, Bob Page makes his only other appearance in this game. And of course, the good old Deus Ex theme. I love it. I cannot get enough of this song. And so, yeah, it leaves it pretty open-ended, and I'm curious to see how they tie together, what choice you make at the end of this game into whatever they do next, and still manage to make it come full circle with the original game, and just make the whole setting and introduction of the original Deus Ex, which takes place like 25 years after this game, I think. Just make it make sense, because obviously, in spite of any choice you make here, it's clear that mechanical augmentation has continued to make progress. We see, by the time of the first Deus Ex, the mechanical augmentation is sort of being phased out. And the nanotechnology, which was hinted at in that little outro there, is what is coming into... it's the next stage of this sort of technological human evolution. And so obviously all that happened regardless of how we chose to end this game. So I really want to see how they wrap up the outro of this, the ending of this game, into whatever comes next, and how that all comes full circle with the original game. And so it makes me wonder if, instead of trying to make it so that you can import your saves, so you can, like, your ending ties into the next game, and find some way to make it come full circle, or instead they choose either one of the 4 endings as the canonical ending, or just sort of wrap them together the way Deus Ex led into Invisible War. Basically, with Invisible War, which I'm never going to play, I'm aware that they kind of chose all 3 endings, or at least parts of all 3 endings. And so essentially what happened was, you go with the Benevolent Dictator ending, which is where you merge with Helios, but it also leads to the destruction of Area 51, which shuts down all global communication. New Game Plus. I didn't know they had a New Game Plus. I gotta check that out. Maybe we'll do it at the end of this. So basically, by merging with Helios, it just leads to the destruction of Area 51, or I think basically Denton destroyed the place as he was leaving, which led to the Dark Age ending that Tracer Tong wanted. And the Illuminati still, just by virtue of Bob Page being dead, and some of the technology of Area 51 being left behind, the Illuminati was able to, in spite of the Dark Age, they were able to regain control behind the scenes, since Majestic 12 was no longer a thing. So they were able to merge all 3 endings in a way that made Invisible War make sense. It's just I didn't like the game at all, so that's why I don't really know a whole lot about it behind that. So let's just take a quick look at New Game Plus. I think all that happens here... what the hell not. I think all that happens here is you start the game over again, maybe at a higher difficulty, but you have all your previous augmentations still. This is just a Bob Page intro again, I think. So, alright, well, we have to go through the whole intro again, which I don't really feel like doing. I guess it's not a big deal. I'm sure that it's just starting the game over again with some of the stuff that you had at the end still intact. I doubt there's any change to the story or anything. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very dearly for watching, and of you who kept up with it, and I'll see you all next time.